Welcome to the first episode of UQ with a Brew. I am your host, Tom, and today I am joined by...
Maja.
And Morgan.
And can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you study?
I'm a second year business management student here at the University of Hull, and I'm really excited to be here today.
I'm a second year international business student. Again, so excited to be here, discuss, have a little chat with a brew.
So, before we get into anything, what is our brew selection today?
So today I've just gone for the classic cup of tea, and I'm gonna partner it with a rich tea biscuit because, in my opinion, I think they're a classic. I think they're simple, and I think that's enough.
Old soul.
Yeah, I'm an old soul.
And what's your choice?
I've got a caramel latte, chocolate digestives with a choice. Bring shame upon yourself for having a rich tea biscuit.
I've gone for a latte, and I'll probably go for the digestives as well because they're like cardboard.
Anyway.
So, what's student life been like for both of you so far?
My student life, I think I'm so far away from home, but it's like I've got a second home here almost. I love going home for a break, but I'm so excited to come back to uni and see all my friends and live the life that I want to live without anything else. And I wouldn't change it for the world going anywhere else.
No, I love it. I think it's nice when you've got lots of different groups of friends. I think when you're in societies as well, you make friends societies, and you've got your courses. And I think when you get involved with stuff, it makes it that much better. You can go out, have a laugh, and have a great time.
Yeah, it's so interesting the amount of different people you meet all the time. It's like people you'd never come across in any other walk of life. So
yeah. It's
really
crazy.
Nice
It makes it feel like such a small world, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How would you describe your experience at uni in 3 words?
I don't know. I think maybe exciting, really exciting all the time.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I would say fun. Lots of, I think, good times with like friends, and then sport, netball, fun, all that sort of thing.
I'd say exciting, unexpected.
Yeah.
You never really know what you're going to be doing in the next 2 weeks or what opportunities you're going to get. And I'd say comforting. I love coming back to uni and it being, again, my own space with my own friends, with my people.
Like a home away from home?
Yeah.
Okay, so outside of your course, what's your favourite thing about being a student?
Probably the freedom I get with my student loan, to be honest with you, not having to work. No, I'd actually say just being able to see something online and be like, I'm going to do that next week. It's being so unexpected all the time, and all the experiences you would get that you wouldn't get if you were somewhere else. For example, they do a lot of like the vintage sales in like the whole Minster, which I think is so interesting because it's such a random place to have them, but it's just so amazing. You never know what you're going to be doing.
I think the wait, what was the question? What was the question?
What was your outside of your course?
Oh yeah, what's the best? Student discounts on nights out. That's good. That's always a good one. I think not you're allowed to just be doing whatever, not having a plan. You just one day you might, let's go to the pub, the next day, should we go out? I think it's just the freedom to sort of do what you want and not have any pressure, outside of your course.
Yeah. Are you involved in anything outside of your studies, like any clubs or any societies?
I'm part of netball squad, and we just did varsity at the weekend, which was such a good experience. We won our netball match, and then we had a great night out. It was so much fun.
I wouldn't say I'm really necessarily involved in anything crazy. I think I'm just quite happy doing things that I like to do, and I'm quite okay with being alone. But I love going along to support things around the uni. So like sometimes I go and watch Morgan's netball matches and things like that, or some of the football games, just to be part of that community without having to be necessarily completely involved in it. It's a nice community without everything around it.
I think as well you can dip in and out. Like I know with netball, you don't have to be playing. You can have a social membership as well. So or you can go to socials and not play netball, or you can bring your friends along. That sort of thing is nice.
What would you say to someone who is just about to start uni or thinking of starting uni? What would you say to that person?
I would say just jump 2 feet in straight away. Don't hold
100%.
back. Try and get involved with everything you want to get involved with. Everyone's in the same boat at the end of the day. Everyone's either moving away from home or going to uni near home, meeting new people. So I think you've just got to, even if it's scary, I think you've just got to dive in and just get involved, talk to people, because that's the best way to be, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's about just trying everything, giving everything a go. You almost get to, no matter what you're doing, you almost get to start again. If you've had a really bad experience in high school or college or whatever, it's something you can just put past you, and you get to be your own person. I think in uni you need to not be scared to discover who you are, and it be okay that if you change a bit, and that everything happens for a reason. Talk to everyone, and if you're not friends with them, I'm sure there's a funny story behind it. That like it's just about the full experience that you get. You're only there for 3 years, make the most of it.
There's always people for you as well, even if initially you don't find your people, like you will find your people.
Definitely.
And I think,
well, that's how we met.
I think it's just that you need to, you've got to settle in a bit, and yeah.
Can you tell the viewers how you two met? Tell us that story.
Would you like?
I can go. So we went. Was it our first week of uni?
It was our induction week, so we hadn't even started lectures or anything yet.
And we had to go meet our personal supervisors, and there was quite a few of us, weren't there?
But it was like quite a small room, so we had to kind of all kind of sit next to each other.
So we got chatting. Our personal supervisor didn't turn up. Never turned up. Never met him. Shout out. But we just ended up chatting, didn't we? Then we ended up going to Spoons, I think, didn't we?
I think so. I think we had a pint the first day.
We had a pint, got chatting, and yeah, that was that.
And that was that from then, and we just got to know each
Never
other.
left.
Yeah.
So
could get rid of her.
I believe that recently you both worked on the Green Room project.
Yeah.
Would you mind giving us an insight into how you worked? Like what you did, how you experienced it?
So I was the creative co-lead. Worked really close with Tom and Neil at University Quarter, sort of doing the marketing, social media side of things, getting content, making it sort of the most interesting that we can make all the crazy activities in the day around sustainability and that sort of thing, to sort of make it the most interesting and get these little gems in the videos to really make it to look appealing, and yeah.
If you want to look at her videos, they're all on the website, University Quarter /GRP, and they've got full day videos and the little taste videos. They're amazing. Check them out. 100%.
Link below.
Link below. I had a different role. I was project manager for one of the houses. So just a bit of basis on like background on the project. It was 2 houses competing against each other to see who was more sustainable, who took on the challenges the best. And so a few weeks before, we had lots of different meetings talking about what was going on, what the timetable was like, the timings. It was a unique experience, I would say. It's something I've never experienced before. You learn a lot about people that you didn't know.
That's okay though.
That's okay. Everything happens for a reason. It's what university's for. But it was a really, really fun project, and all the insights and everything. And it was just so nice seeing something that you've planned and put all your effort into turn out into something really nice. And it's really nice to see all the videos that you guys are making, because it was like, oh my god, that's what I planned.
That's
and
what
it
you've
was,
been doing, yeah.
And it was amazing. Yeah, and I wouldn't change it for the world. There was
Every day's jam-packed, wasn't it?
It was a
you
very...
didn't have a minute to sort of...
No, not even like breathe or anything. It was crazy, but
it was good.
It was amazing.
I mean, we met for the first time at the start of that week, and
I was
by
gonna say
Wednesday, Thursday, we was totally bond.
we're all bonded now, and I think again that's a great way to get to know people.
Yeah.
Attach yourself to them. Don't leave. No, it was an experience. Some would say, but I'd do it again.
Yeah, 100%. I think it really throws you into sort of what it is potentially like working with other people you don't know. You're not going to get along with everyone, and that's fine. But I think really collaborating, communicating on things with people that you wouldn't normally sort of socialise with, or things like that. You really get to learn a lot of different perspectives and different views on how things can be done better and completed. And I think it's a really good experience to sort of throw yourself into, because
you learn a lot about yourself, and how you run as a person, and what your strengths are and how you can play to your own strengths. I think that's something you don't necessarily get to find out until you're in the world of work. So it was a really good project to be involved in, and all the connections we've been able to get from this project is amazing.
Working with other brands as well, like Connexon and other brands like that. I think like Siemens, when everyone went to Siemens, working on with them live businesses and really getting them connections and that experience to sort of build on.
Speaking of being involved, what made you want to get involved in the first place?
My thing originally was it was a sustainability project, which is something I really do care about it, and it's something I'm interested in, something I want to take further as well. And I just thought it was something really exciting that when else would you be doing a fashion show in the middle of Hull?
Yeah.
When in your life would you be organising that? And it was just like, it seemed like this crazy thing when it was proposed to me, but it was so crazy you almost wanted to experience and see what it came out like, and I'm so grateful I took part in it.
I think because obviously I knew it was going to be sort of in the creative area, marketing side of things, getting to learn new skills and things like that from people that have really sort of fine-tuned them, and then them being passed on to me, but also knowing that sort of, yes, it's going to be a whirlwind of everything, but there's only benefits that have come from it. You connect with new people, you learn a lot of new skills, and create potential opportunities for yourself that you wouldn't have normally got if you hadn't jumped into it and just thought, yeah, I'll do it.
I would say as well, though, with the Green Room project, we almost didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into, because it was such a massive thing, and whatever, there were so many things going on, you almost didn't know what was going on. Yeah. But that almost made it more exciting.
It made it more exciting, and I think as well, the fact that we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, I think, like you said, it made it a lot more interesting and fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, before we move on to the next question, let's have a quick moment for our sponsor today, Chips. We have our own UQ branded version of this in the packaging, with our logo on it and all our colours. What do you two know of Chip Spice?
So I'm actually not from Hull. So Chip Spice to me, when I first moved here, I was like, what are you even on about? Chip Spice is not just salt. Like what we adding to our chips here? But I would say that now when I go back home, I miss Chip Spice. It's something so unique to Hull, and it's really nice that UQ have taken that on as well to make it special to what we are.
I'm from Hull, so it's a staple. I didn't realise at first that it was a whole thing, just a whole thing, and now, obviously like you, it's it's just so normal to me, and I think you couldn't have a chippy without chip spice on it. It's just so good, and I think it, like you said, gives whole that sort of uniqueness, and it's really nice. I like it.
I get that. When you go to a takeaway like in Manchester, for example, you get chips and they've just got salt on them. It's like,
what's this?
What's this?
Not for me. Not a bit of me, that. Chip spice. Yeah. I think I should start carrying it in my handbag, to be honest.
When I've gone places, I'm like, oh, have you got any chip spice? And they're like, what's that? I'm like, what do you mean? It's...
Okay.
It's, yeah.
Just
like,
what
do you mean you'd have chip spice?
It's actually really funny. So one of my mum's friends actually went to uni in Hull, and then when I come back home, she's like, can you bring back some chip spice, please? Because I don't sell it anywhere else, and people are like, oh, the chip season is the same. It's not chip spice. This particular one is different to anything else you get.
I like giving it to people who aren't from Hull. It's like guinea pigs. I just like watching their reaction, and then when they don't like it, I'm like, why?
Go away.
Why don't you like it?
You don't like chip spice?
Get out.
Get out.
Just saying, if you don't like chip spice, you can't be on this podcast.
Yeah.
You're not welcome.
Get out. Okay, back to the Green Moon Project. After our little sponsorship break. What was a standout moment for both of you throughout the week?
Oh gosh.
I think every day was just so much.
I think for me, one of the days, I'm not sure whether it was, I think probably two things. On the Wednesday, we had so much, what did we have on the Wednesday?
It was the fashion show.
It was the fashion show, then Jessie from Traitors came, and then there was the big green debate, and I think on that side of things at first, it was really nice to see, like, us getting all the content and see everything coming together. But then I think on the Thursday, what really I think was good, we were all in the office editing, getting stuff done. And I think it was because we were a bit worried, weren't we, about the amount of stuff that we had to do, but we sort of came together and we got it done. And I think at the end of that day, it was like, I can't believe we've managed to get all of this done. Like, there's been so much crazy stuff, and then being able to sort of just get everything done and have a good time whilst doing it, and seeing, learning new things and random experiences.
I really enjoyed Wednesday as well, seeing everything come to life really nicely, everything that's been planning. But for me, I feel like my highlight actually was Friday. So on Friday they did a show, and it was so nice seeing so many other people there coming to watch them, and it's like, these people have no idea what they've been doing all week, but they were absolutely amazing, everybody receiving their prize, and just seeing everybody actually enjoy the whole week.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you're planning things, you're not sure if people are going to enjoy them, because there's so much happening all the time. But it was so nice to see that everybody really enjoyed it, and everybody was just looking after each other, and it was just like such a nice end to a week, to be honest.
I think from a group of people that were strangers, didn't know each other in the houses and in the production team, that by the end of the week they've been through this crazy week that it's probably not like anything you've experienced before, and everyone's now like close there for each other, working together, and you could see sort of the happiness on people's face. It sounds a bit cringe, but
the friendships and the
relationships. The friendships that had been formed over the past week.
Well, it's like us, isn't it? All of us. It's like we hadn't met until like literally the day of or whatever, and that was
that Monday morning.
Yeah, that Monday morning of everybody
craziness.
Everything just being there, not even knowing where to start to begin with. It was like, I don't even know where to start. There's nothing to tick off a to-do list, because there's no to-do list to make.
Yeah.
It was a nice week.
Other than that Thursday, when we was all a bit giggly, I think I liked when we was going through the footage. My most favourite standout moment to this day is going through the silent disco and seeing you do your mum dance. Stood there with your drink
let's
like...
do the mum dance.
Give us a live demonstration of the mum dance.
Hang on, let me get the drink in my hand. So this is a can of cider, not a cup of tea currently.
It was this way side to side as well. Bear in mind, this video obviously is a bit cringe to watch because there's no music in the background.
What you
all had silent disco headphones on.
What you've just seen is what the video is. Except I'm in a luminous green hoodie.
Honestly.
So, if you was to do that week again and do something differently, what do you think you'd do differently?
In a sense of learning new things and like being thrown into that workplace, I think just taking a moment to just sort of take it in, right, this is what we need to do, this is just to sort of centre yourself before jumping into all the craziness. But I think I wouldn't change the week at all, because I wouldn't change sort of the experience I had. Yes, it was like a whirlwind of things, but it was a really good learning experience and learning move, because it's everything that is out of your control. When you go to work, there are a lot of things that aren't in your control, and being put into that situation, sort of learning how you cope with it, and maybe realising, I need to cope with this better, I need to maybe do this instead, I think is a really good experience.
I think if I could change it, I think I just need to learn to accept that not everybody's going to listen. and that's okay, and I can let them do their own thing as long as it doesn't impact me.
Yeah.
As long as they're not getting away.
As they can do their
As long
own...
as the work gets done.
Do your own thing. If you want to faff about something that's completely irrelevant, you faff about doing something that's relevant, because it means that people who are doing important things can do their important things. And I think if I were to change it again, I don't think I would really.
Yeah.
It was more about my actions, not everybody else that was involved. I think it's just me being accepting and not having expectations of people.
Yeah.
I think as well. Like, I've got my own expectations, but I need to keep that to myself and not put my expectations on other people, because it's their experience as much as it's my experience. And it's just, in a way, of being a little bit selfish about it. It being about, yes, we're working as a team, but about my outcome of it as well, not worrying about what other people are doing, because it's not about them in that moment. And I think it sounds terrible, but I think sometimes you do need to just take a step back and think about yourself. Because if you're trying to organise so many other people and talk to so many people about so many things, you forget what you're talking about yourself.
I think as well, if you get engrossed in what everyone else is doing, yes, it needs sort of management and organising, but if you get engrossed in what everyone else is doing too much, you then start to lose what you're doing and what you need to execute well. So you don't want to let your sort of self fall behind on that aspect. So
what skills do you think that you've both learned from that week that you're going to take into the future?
I would say patience. I can have patience, but it's developed.
Number one.
Because like you can't control other people. Like, do you know what? You get on with people, you don't get on with people, but we're just all here to get something done and have a really good experience. I think adaptability and flexibility in plans change, people might be late to things that are coming in, just being able to really manipulate it about and make sure everything is still getting done and everything is still fantastic, but sometimes unexpected things happen, plans have got to change sometimes.
Yeah, it's almost accepting that people, again, like I said it earlier, it's accepting the people that not everybody's on the same wavelength as you are. You might be thinking 3 steps ahead, but those people could only live in the moment, so they don't know what's happening in 10 minutes, whereas you know what's happening tomorrow. I think one of the biggest things I've learned is still acceptance, and also I think just it's making the most of it for yourself and taking it being about your experience. I think you can apply that to so many things. Like I know earlier we were talking about what to expect from uni. It's like you've got to remember that you make your own experience. It's not about the people around you. It's you and what you do with people.
You haven't got anyone like you would in school pushing you to do something.
No.
If you don't get on with it, if you don't do it, it's not getting done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to our last section, which is about reflecting, because the name of this pilot episode is It's Important to Reflect. So, the questions I have for you is, why do you think it's what's the point of reflecting on experiences like this?
I think to develop your knowledge of what could have gone better, what went well, and also to develop, if you're going to do something like this in the future, or anything in general, it can be applied to anything, that I don't know where I was going with that. I think you go.
I'll take over, shall I? So, in my opinion, I think it's about learning. Reflecting's hard. It's not easy.
It's not always positive.
No, and that's okay. That's okay. I think
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. As I was saying. Anyway, I think it's so important for your own personal development. You're never going to grow as a person, be a better person, if you don't know what you've done wrong, or you don't know what works for you. If you don't know what you're good at, how do you take that forward? How do you learn from it? How do you learn to be a better person, a rounded more person, a better professional, anything in your life?
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're good at, you don't know what you're bad at.
Yeah.
You can't grow from that.
No, you can't sort of develop as a team if you're working in that team setting.
You can't
If
change.
there's no reflection, then you're just going to stay pretty stagnant, aren't you, in your workplace and in your career in general.
Yeah.
If you don't put your best foot forward.
So what advice would you give someone who were to take on your role in the future?
In the Green Room project. Be patient, and also if you are a shouty, getting people in their places leader, then do it. If you're not, then don't.
Yeah.
Don't force yourself to try and be what you think is a good leader or you think is a better reasoning. It's about your strengths and how you can make a room listen to you. If you can make a room listen to you by just standing there, then just stand there. If you need to shout at them, tell them to all get in a straight line and talk to them. Do that. It's about what works for you that's going to make people listen to you. It's like the project manager in the other house had a very different way of talking than I did, but I felt as though
it worked best for you.
It worked best for me. What worked best for her house worked best for her house. What worked for mine, what worked for mine. Yeah. It's all about just finding. It's also like, don't expect things to go perfectly on day one. If it's rubbish on day one, again, reflect on it. Try something different the next day. You've got 5 days to do it, and it's not the end of the world. Everybody's in the same position. Everybody's in the same boat. It's about what works for you and what's going to bring your outcome. It's about what you want from it, and just really understanding your strengths and your weaknesses.
I think from my end of things, initially being a sponge, soaking up all the information, learning everything you can, really taking in everything, whether you've never done anything like it before within the marketing and that's what you want to get into, or you've already got experience, but really being a sponge and learning from people around you that have careers, and so you can sort of better yourself. And I'd say also, like similar to what Maja said, leading from behind. Like, you don't need to be, if you lead that person shouting, or that's fine, leading from the front, but also leading from behind and letting everyone follow your lead, letting them know you're there, you're with them, but guiding the process and the outcomes and the goals that you want, that you've set out to do, to really lead from within.
Just be there for everybody, always. You know what I mean? It's like, if I needed you to do something for me, you'd do it for me. The same as the other way around. So it worked quite well because the communication was there, and the mutual, not necessarily the mutual respect, but the mutual understanding that what's happening in the moment is happening in the moment. It's not going to matter in 10 minutes later. It just needs to be ready now.
And I think the thing as well is, at the end of the day, everyone on this project is a team. You're going to be working closely with everyone. So if you're not within that sort of, if you're not in the headspace of, I need to be a team, we need to help each other, I need Maja to do this for me, like, or Maya needs me to do something for her. Yes, Maya was project management and I was creative co-lead, but there was still a lot that we had to work with together and sort of figure out, and if we couldn't do that, then things wouldn't work, things wouldn't get done.
Yeah.
So I think it's really about the teamwork and sort of staying on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So to wrap up this episode, if you were to sum up the Green Room project in one word, what would it be?
For me, I would say whirlwind. I know I've said that, but
Yeah.
it with so many things going on, positive, learning new things, you just have to embrace it, and I think whirlwind is a
100%.
good one.
I think there's so many words because there was so many things that happened. Like, there was just so much, and it was, I think for me, maybe it was hectic, but in a good way.
Yeah, that's not one word. Hectic in a good way.
My word,
5 words.
my word is hectic, but the background of the reason I've chose that word, the analysis.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, the analysis. The
GCSE English coming in here.
Yeah.
P paragraph.
So my point is, it was hectic.
What's your evidence? I'll explain.
The evidence, watch the videos. And my explanation is it was hectic in a good way. There was so much that happened, but and I think it all just happened for a reason, and it all turned out beautifully in the end.
Yes, it did.
Like,
no matter what happened behind the scenes, everything was executed well.
The scene looked great.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, well, on that, thank you for tuning in to the first episode of UQ with the Brew. Thank you for joining us today, and tune in for the next episode.
Bye. Bye.